Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. You know, I didn't talk about this at all, I don't believe, last week, but a couple weekends ago, I had gone to Los Angeles to celebrate my godfather's birthday. And in the process of doing that, it was a beautiful thing, beautiful event, beautiful home that it was hosted at, great food, great to see all the people again. But there was a total of like 100 people that attended his birthday party. And I gotta say, it was just crazy to see all the people, all the family members that I had not seen in a very, very long time. And it was great to actually, get together, catch up, chat, all that stuff with them. And actually have a really nice time. The weather was good. Everybody was, there. People I haven't seen in a long time. Like I said, I have a lot of cousins in my family, a ton. And to see them like grow up from like when they were like so small to now, it's like, dude, where did time go, man? It's just crazy to think about that. It's like I remember when they were like very young, when some were born, and it's just like, whoa, this is just unreal to see how time has just passed and gone by, Same with like relatives like uncles and aunts, and it's just like wild to see all that, because I haven't seen them in a while, so it's just like, dude, it just kind of hits you like, dang, it's been a long time. But it was nice to get together and see all those people, my loved ones and family members, and, just like aunts, uncles, cousins, all that. It was just awesome to see that. It was a really, really fun time. And I was like, dang, that feeling you get when you haven't seen family in a while. Like I had not seen them in a long time. And I was like, what are they going to think of me? Like, am I like, are they going to be excited to see me? Are they going to be like, oh, look who finally should, roast me a little bit? I was like just kind of gearing up for like anything, because I'm a super busy all the time, and I don't really make time to see them as much as I should. So like when I was, on the car ride there, I was just like, man, I can't wait to see them all, but I'm wondering if they're going to let me have it. And they kind of did a little bit, and they're also just kind of more or less happy to see me. And I was like, this is really freaking cool. This is awesome. Like I said, 100 people show up. I didn't know all the 100 people. I knew a majority of them, but not all of them. But like still, it was like really fun to go over there and see all my family again. We used to do that a ton when we were little kids, and just haven't been able to do as much as, we've all gotten older. It's not as easy to do that than when we're all younger. It's a lot harder, especially when we're all like, spread out. Like we all don't live in the same part of the state at all. So it's really hard to do that. And, other people, they have their own small families as well. It's almost like impossible to get all that to happen. It coordinated and everything, but it was great. It was great. Saw my brother again after a few months. It was cool to see because my brother is extremely, extremely strong. Like he's like almost like the Hulk. Like he's really, buff. And like I've mentioned before, I've been on a fitness journey myself for the past few years, and I feel like I'm pretty good at where I'm at right now. But my mom had taken a picture of me and my brothers, like very close to each other, like close proximity. And my younger brother, like I just said, is like really strong and really buff, and it shows in the picture. And I'm in the picture as well. And I do not look anywhere close to this guy at all. I look I look puny compared to this guy. Like his arm was like really close to, not close, but like you can compare and contrast like his arm, which is freaking jacked and strong, and then mine, which is just like a twig, not on purpose, but it is what it is. And I was just like kind of humbled and almost like a little embarrassed by that picture that I had seen. Like, oh man, like I gotta step my game up. Like I need to get strong. Like I saw it and I was just like, holy mother of God. So I feel like what I need to do in my own journey, in my life, what I need to do is to consume more protein. And so I've made the leap into the protein, like the excessive protein consumption world. I have bought protein powder, and I now make protein shakes every day. And at least with those protein shakes, I consume about 60 grams of protein per shake, which is about 360 calories per shake. Which, when you look at it, it's like, that's a lot of calories for a liquid. But it also is, a lot of protein. It's like more than 2 chicken breasts of protein in a shake. Which I kind of look at it, it's like, well, I need to consume more. And I always knew I needed to consume more as well. But I always just kind of like wanted to just try my hardest to just lift hard in the gym, and hopefully it would just, work out that way. It hasn't been able to do that. It just doesn't, transcend that. Or I don't know what the word would be. It doesn't really work out that way, I guess you could say. No pun intended, but it just doesn't work out that way. I need to consume more protein in my daily diet. And I'm pretty much almost a week in on it, and I have not really noticed any results. I don't expect them to be like that quickly, but I do think that if I continue with this higher protein consumption, I will be on the right track. Now, I don't know if I want to look as jacked as this guy does, my brother, but, it could be kind of cool to get like that big, Maybe I just need to eat more overall, but, which I can, but I don't know if I should, I'll be honest. I think that if I do teeter with more food, I'll balloon and get fat again, which I don't want to at all, but I do need to try something new. So I'm just going to start increasing the protein intake in my diet daily, and hoping that, kind of makes a difference, because if I map it out correctly, right, I don't eat a breakfast, and usually my first meal is like at 11 o'clock, and that's usually a chicken breast and some rice, an apple, and a protein yogurt. So if you put in the protein, let's just do the chicken breast is like 25 grams of protein. The yogurt is 15 grams of protein. That is 40 grams of protein right there. Add on the protein shake, which is 60. That's 100 grams of protein. So that's already better than what I would be at that point in the day. And that would be after I eat lunch and then after I work out. So that I would consume around 100 grams of protein after I had worked out. Or up until I work out. Or no, during the day. So I would eat the lunch, which is 40 grams, and then I would work out, then I would consume the protein shake, and that would put me at a grand total of the day at 100 grams of protein, I believe. And then I would eat dinner, which is usually like a protein, like a steak or some meat, and maybe a glass of milk, which is about like another 30 grams of protein. Around there, give or take. So I'm at like 130 grams. I weigh 173 pounds. So what I've heard is you need to do the amount of grams per pound that you weigh of protein to see results. Now, I understand the math doesn't really add up quite there yet to equal my weight, but I am making improvements. Now, I don't know if it's okay to consume more than one protein shake a day. Don't know if I would, I'll be honest with you, because I would run out pretty quick. I'm not too sure if that's a move to do, but maybe it will be in the future. I don't know, right? I'm not too sure. So I'm going to keep doing this for a few weeks until this protein powder is gone, and I'm going to get some more protein powder, when I run out. It's in like a big like plastic container, right? It's in a giant plastic container. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is so much protein. And you look at the back of the thing, it says like 1 scoop is 30 grams of protein, 2 scoops is 60 grams. And you add in 16 ounces of water to the 2 scoops and 8 for the 1 scoop. And then you're like, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's awesome. And then you open it, right? You open up the protein powder, and it's already it's kind of like a bag of chips. It's not full to the brim of powder. It's like 3/4 of the way full. And then the scooper is actually kind of a big scooper. Like, it's a big portion of scoopage. So it's not even like a tiny little thing that I thought it would have been. It is a giant scoop. So I'm using more than I had thought that I would per shake. And then I thought I had more than I actually do when I started, right when I popped the container open. So protein was around $27 to $30 for that big container. So I'm thinking this is going to actually kind of run out on me pretty quickly, right, if I'm doing it daily, especially after I work out, So this actually could become an investment, an actually thing that's going to actually cost me not a ton of money, but a decent chunk of money, every time I buy protein powder. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I guess, gains takes sacrifice, right? It's going to cost me some money to look stronger, right? And right now I'm I need to look stronger. That picture, and I'm not even kidding you, it haunts me to this day. It's damn, I look like a freaking twig next to this dude. Are you kidding me? I didn't think I was this freaking scrawny. Not even kidding. I was I thought that I was, decent shape. I saw, I flexed in the mirror before. I'm hey, I see there's something there. I'm I'm not totally skin and bone, but I was up against my brother. I'm wow. I need no more playing around. This is kind of embarrassing. I cannot be looking like this compared to this guy at all. And he's younger than me. I'm no way. Absolutely not. I'm lucky too that I'm the tallest in my family. I'm the tallest one. I know I tower over all my siblings and my parents. And I'm the oldest too, right? So if you think about it, I'm the perfect specimen of older brother. If you think about it. I actually got kind of lucky, and I'm the tallest one in the family, as the Lord intended. That is something that I take pride in. I am the eldest, the firstborn, the first son, right? If you want to write a book, write a novel, a movie, right, on heroism, being a hero, being a leader, that is the defining traits, right? That these writers and creators make when they create a leader in their world, right? Firstborn, male, tallest one in the family. That is, the trifecta right there, the holy trinity of what makes at least appear to be a leader, right? That's the one, right? Thank God. Honestly, thank God I am the tallest one. Shoot. I mean, I was talking to a coworker a couple days ago at work, and her sister had come in, and her sister is younger, but is taller than her. It's dude, I don't know if I could live my life like that. If I was the older sibling and I was shorter than them, I don't know if I could handle that. I'll be honest with you. I've never had to experience that in my life. Me being the oldest, there was no point in my life where a sibling was approaching me or as tall as me. I was always the tallest one growing up with my family. So I never had like the issue of like, oh, he's catching up to me, or oh, he's passing me, or oh, she's passing me. Never. Never. Like I'm blessed that I have the height gene, that I actually look over my siblings and I'm like, yeah, this actually is the way to go, right? This is the way. This is how it is supposed to be. When I saw my coworker and her sister was there, I was like I don't know if I could do that. I make fun of my sister too. I like to sometimes get on her level. Like I'll like crouch down a little bit and see like the world from her perspective, just for fun, just to like make fun of her and be like, out of curiosity, like, this is how you view the world. This is how you view it. Like, this is not good. This is really like, the world isn't meant for you. Like, everything is so like eye level to you. A countertop is like almost eye level. Like, you have to like kind of like reach up a little bit to put a cup on a countertop. Like, that ain't cool at all. I would hate that. I'm blessed that I have the height, because like it also kind of comes with like, and I don't like to say this like all the time, but it comes with like strength, which clearly if you've seen the picture, I don't have the strength yet, but I have the height. So if I can add the strength to me along with my height, then I'll be like a macho man, right? I'm not quite there yet at all. Now that I saw that photo, I'm like, now I'm a little self-conscious about the size of like my arms are freaking twigs. That is not good. So I've, like I said, I'm doing the protein, doing harder workouts, lifting heavier in the gym, lifting longer in the gym. I've noticed that my lifting time has increased a lot at the gym. It's much more, spaced out in the repetitions, in the sets, and more repetitions, sometimes heavier, and just more spaced out between the breaks to give the muscles time to like, get ready for the next set, which I think is what you're supposed to do. At least that's what I've been told by a lot of people. And just lifting heavier. I feel like I haven't lifted as heavy as I could, but now I'm doing that more. And I think it's going to start working very soon. I think so. Hopefully. I can only hope that actually is something that will work for me, because, Christ almighty. I used to just be lifting like a lot and not a super heavy amount. Don't know if that's the recipe for success if I want to be stronger. I thought it was, but I don't think that is actually going to work for me. So I need to actually, lift heavier, lift more, lift longer. Now, I think I said this, but like I reached like it's like total like gym time at the gym that I'm actually lifting weights is like an hour now. It used to be like 25 to 30 minutes, but now it's like an hour. Like, no cappuccino. It's like actually a long time that I'm actually lifting weights. It used to be not as much, but I've realized like, you know what? I need to do more, and I need to rest more while I'm doing that, and that's just going to take time. So I'm usually an efficient guy. I don't like to be inefficient, meaning I don't think that it is, if I could, save time on a task, or like not make something take too long to do and still be able to do it, I'm going to do that. That's going to be like my way of thinking and how I approach things. But in terms of like working out and actually putting in a good workout for myself, I need to be willing to extend that and do a proper like time of working out. And if that means a longer time working out and actually lifting weights, then I have to do it. I don't see any other way around it. You got to put the time in. You got to put the time in. You can't cut corners. You can't. I see no other way that I could achieve the goal of actually being stronger than actually putting the time in, you know, which goes against me because I'm super trying to be so efficient with time because I got a lot of things going on in a day, but I got to do it. I had to work out today, and I had a podcast to do, and I had to do shopping, right? And I got to cook dinner. I have a lot to do. Not a whole lot of time in the day to do it, though, and I did not have the greatest start to the day. I woke up a little on the later side. Hated that. Hate that so much. I hate getting late starts to the day. I hate it. When I used to wake up at 7 o'clock and be in the gym by like 7:45, right, that was the best. It was awesome. I felt like I was conquering my day, and I was using my time efficiently, getting it done in a good amount of time, having a lot more time in the day to do other things, on off days at least, and just really conquering the day. When I get late starts, man, I just hate it. And this wasn't even that late of a start, I'll be honest. I think on Monday, I straight up got to the gym around like 12:45. And I was like, this sucks. This is a terrible time to start, for me at least. I know people are different, but I like to get it done. I like to rise and grind. That's what I like to do, rise and grind. That's what I'm meant to do. Just rise and grind. I hate being sluggish, starting late. I know I still rose and grinded late, but I like to rise and grind early. Doing it late is just like, ugh. You kind of like don't want to do it that late. At least I don't. I just like don't want to do it. It's like, man, it's late. I got other things to do. I should just skip. But I didn't. I did not that day. I said, you know what? I can't be a baby about this. I'm not going to be a wuss. I'm going to do it. So I did it. Man, that day was tough. Today wasn't as tough, but that day, shoot, that was tough. That was a tough day. Anyways, moving on. Kind of moving into a little bit of gaming news. Now, last week's episode, I had talked about the immense hype for Battlefield 6. Now, they had at that time released a reveal trailer, very cinematic heavy, very little gameplay shown, and just kind of like the premise of what the game is going to be about. Well, a week has gone by, and now we've been fully pretty much revealed the Battlefield 6's multiplayer reveal trailer, story trailer, the world of Battlefield, destruction, stuff that's coming in the future. We have hours and hours of gameplay of, creators and things that they've released. So we have pretty much fully seen Battlefield 6's multiplayer and what it can do and what it's going to be like and look like, and what Battlefield Studios is hoping to achieve. Like the vibe of it, the look of it, the feel of it. And I gotta say, me as a Battlefield fan, since Battlefield 3, now I'm not an OG fan that played like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 1942, 1943, or the Bad Company games. I came into Battlefield around Battlefield 3. And the reason why I had come into it at that point in time was because that game came out, was announced, shown off the first time I think I ever saw at E3 that year or the year prior, right? And when I had seen the Battlefield 3 reveal, at that point in time, I was a big Halo guy and a big Call of Duty guy. And I like Call of Duty for what it was. I enjoyed it quite a bit. We had just had Black Ops 1, the very first Black Ops, for the first time, and I was not really enjoying it as much as I did Modern Warfare 2. And then we see Battlefield's coming out, and then, when I had seen that trailer and gameplay and, the first mission essentially for that game, I was blown away at how it looked, how it felt, how real it looked, the design, the audio, the intensity of that gameplay demo. And I was just like, dude, this is freaking like the next step above of what we already know with FPSs. We know what Halo can do, we know what Call of Duty can do, but I had never seen nothing like this. And I remember the marketing for that game as it was coming out was always like a building up for the launch of Battlefield 3. And that was when I first started hearing rumblings that this game had the potential to kill Call of Duty. And at the time, Call of Duty was still strong, right? They were coming out with Modern Warfare 3, the first one, in the same year. So it wasn't like Call of Duty was in a bad spot. They had a good thing coming. They had a good game. They just had a good game in Black Ops, and they were coming out with another Modern Warfare 3, the sequel to the original Modern Warfare 2, right? So they were not like in the dumps like they are right now. They were still competing and still in a good spot. But this game, Battlefield 3, when this came out, when it was coming out, it was almost like a train that was just getting faster and faster and louder as it came out. Like it was building up to something. Like you could feel like the atmosphere was shifting in the gaming community. Like we had heard and we had realized that this game is going to be big. And it's going to be like a new experience that you've never experienced before. And especially for me, because of never playing a Battlefield game, I was like, this thing is coming quick. And this thing is thundering towards us. It was almost like a thunderstorm, like coming your way. You can feel it. You can hear it and feel it coming, like the rumbling of it. And just like every like gameplay trailer that came out of a different map, a different experience, like I had remembered when they had released the multiplayer trailer for Caspian Border for Battlefield 3. That thing absolutely blew me away. The sheer like warfare that they had debuted in that, and the way it looked, the way it felt, it going along with the music, the all-out warfare with like jets, tanks, choppers, infantry. I'm like, this is going to be freaking amazing, right? And that's what hooked me into it for the very first time of Battlefield. That's what got me for the first time. And I was there for Battlefield 4. I was there for Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, 2042, and now Battlefield 6. Now, I will say 3 and 4 were probably the best ones that I have played, and probably the best Battlefield games in the most recent years. My favorite experience was probably Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 was kind of close to it, but that's when they started getting a little corny with their customization and weird like operator type things. And it never was like as intense as like 3, 4, or even 1. It just kind of felt like a little bit of a neutered version of Battlefield, just not as aggressive as I would like it to be. At least when it launched, and then it got progressively better, and then like they added the Pacific Warfare theater, and that was cool too. But it took a little too long for them to get to like the real like meat of that game. I mean, it was a World War II game, launched in America, and you couldn't even play as the Americans for the first year of the game. I mean, that's just not okay with me. At least, for my experience of the game. That was just not okay. So, I mean, it was cool. I liked it quite a bit. My friends didn't, so like a lot of the time I was just playing it by myself, And then Battlefield 2042 comes around, and then we all think that this is a return to form, sort of, but it kind of felt a little off. Something about it was just kind of off. And then, they started trickling out more details of the operators, the heroes, their abilities, and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Are we ditching the squad stuff? Are we ditching the roles of the squad and what made Battlefield and what made it so fun in the first place? The class system, and it turns out at the beginning of the game that was just pretty much gone. And it'd take them a while to like add back the classes into 2042, but it was not as, it still wasn't quite what we were used to with Battlefield. It was still kind of like almost like a soft hero shooter based game, but in Battlefield. And then, the marketing was strong in the first place. And then again, it got kind of weird with all like the weird seasons and stuff that they were putting out. And the game overall, like the vibe of it, the intensity was just, for me, not really there. It didn't really quite match like the all-out warfare that you're used to in Battlefield games. Even ones that like 3, 4, 1, and 5 to me all had like big all-out warfare vibes. But this one, because they had released essentially 2 modes, right? 64-player mode and 128-player mode. 128-player mode sounded awesome on paper and in theory, but implemented in like the maps that they made for it, it was just bad, terrible. Like there were just times where you were just running around, you couldn't find anybody, in the game at all, and it was like a full lobby. And the choke points and the way that they built the maps, it was just like it didn't work. It didn't work at all. Like you almost kind of like, hey, this is a cool idea, but none of the maps that you made and designed for it work for this many players. Like, I mean, I don't know what you guys thought, or you just rushed this, or you had any idea like 128, let's step it up, but didn't really make maps that catered to that player count. Like it just was a mess. So like, and it had like a lot of glitches. The operators were cringe. Like a lot of it just did not work, and it soured a lot of people from that game. And now we're here, Battlefield 6. Fully revealed pretty much, and the consensus of this is like this is a return to form for Battlefield. And I have to agree with like the general consensus and what people are saying online, what they're posting, what the videos are saying, what everybody's saying is like this looks like a return to form of what Battlefield is and always should be. Like, I mean, like what I've seen in this is like and one of the guys from Battlefield in the videos said it like, this is like a can't miss like first person shooter experience that, looks and feels like it might be like the new standard when it comes to, multiplayer shooters, the way it looks and feels and everything. Like everything I've seen from this, like the classes are great, destruction, the movement, the gameplay, the mechanics and all that, and seeing it actually being used in like the multiplayer gameplay that we have to watch and consume, it all looks really, really awesome. Like I really don't see anything in this that I've seen that I'm like, that looks kind of cringe, or that looks a little cheesy. Like none of this is present in what I've seen for Battlefield 6. And I'm kind of getting like Battlefield 3 vibes where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to play this. Like this is like a new experience. Like when Battlefield 3 came out, that was a new experience for me. Now when Battlefield 6 is coming out this year, I'm like, this is a new experience that I need to experience with my buddies and squad up, dude. Like this is it. Like this is what I am. This is like the most anticipated shooter that we've had in a long time. Like just like because it looks so good. And it's like, it's almost like a wake-up call, like to all these military first-person shooter games that have lost their identity through the years, including Battlefield. Like, hey, this is what it's really all about. This is like the military shooter that you've been wanting for years, and us as the companies have been just denying you that for a very long time. And this is the one to break through, to kind of reset us all back to what it really is with these multiplayer military-based shooters. Like, this is it. I mean, at least from what I can tell. And it's going to have a campaign, too. Like, yo, thank you. That's awesome. That's like not a huge selling point, I will say, in the community of gaming and in the community of content creation, streamers, TikTokers. That's not like what they want to see And it's unfortunate because gamers like myself, casuals who like to play the story as well, like that's so cool that the studio is going to be doing that. Like that's awesome. I want more of that from other big multiplayer games to make stories that are actually really good. I've heard, and I haven't played yet, but I heard that the Black Ops 6 campaign was awesome. Now, I'm so fed up with Call of Duty right now, like I don't even want to launch it on my Xbox. I'm surprised I still have it on my Xbox, but I do want to play that campaign because I heard it was actually really, really, really good. So maybe I'll have to make some time with the very little time that I have to play that game and check it out for myself. But I do think that we are entering an age in gaming where the standard and the bar has been raised on the first-person shooter experience, on what it really means to make an engaging and worthy first-person shooter game. That looks to be Battlefield 6. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I'm not kidding. Like, this game looks like the new era of first-person shooters is beginning with this game. Just like what it looked like for Battlefield 3 all those years ago. You could say the same thing for Modern Warfare 2019. I mean, that was an awesome experience as well. But now we're kind of getting 6 years later from that, we're getting another reset with Battlefield 6. Like, we just need to go back to the grit, the grime, the intensity, and the immersion and the atmosphere that honestly no other game can accomplish atmosphere the way Battlefield does when it comes to combat and warfare. I mean, like, this is such a refreshing thing to have, and it's only a couple months away. It comes out October 10th. So, like, I'm geared up for this. I can't wait to play this game. I mean, I'm kind of, like, glazing it a lot here just because I'm a huge Battlefield fan, but I'm just so sick of what we have right now. I'm sick of it. None of these shooters, especially Call of Duty, have been getting away with what they've been doing for the past 3 years. 4, essentially, because Battlefield 2042 came out in 2021, so it's been like almost 4 years of like Call of Duty getting away with anything that they wanted to do in their games, and nobody challenging them in the first-person shooter. Halo kind of did, but their like slow development kind of killed them in a way that didn't make them as appealing in the time to maintain players that they have today. Like, people still play a shit ton of Call of Duty, which is freaking annoying to see that because the game is so unworthy of that many players. It's just so unworthy of that. It does not earn those players. Does not earn them one bit. They haven't. It's insane, but that just shows you how like the first person shooter market is so lopsided when it comes to popularity and who's playing what. So hopefully Battlefield can make a dent in that and put Call of Duty on their toes, like, hey, we got to step up our game making capabilities and make something that's freaking good and not just the same old game for the past 5 years with different skins and different guns. We need to make a first person shooter experience that is worth purchasing. The fact that this is also going to be $70, big W. Big W. Huge W. Like, that is for the people right there. That is for the people. With Switch games being 80 off the bat, who knows what Grand Theft Auto 6 will be. Like, this is a huge W for the men and women that play games. You and I that play video games. Huge W for the consumer. Huge. Like, this needs to, if this succeeds, as I hope it will, it'll be documented as the game that was for the people, by the people, and hopefully shape the culture and the business model of especially first-person shooters, and I'm looking at you, Call of Duty, moving forward. And all the things that they have said too, like with regarding like, hey, you know, I mean, we're still in the year 2025. There's a lot of cringe out there, a lot of dumb people who like play these games for skins and crap like that. Well, there is a lot of, you know, developers coming out, you know, saying that regards to skins and regards to you know, customization, this was a Battlefield developer on skins and cosmetics for Battlefield 6, and this is from Charlie Intel on X. The thing we can say, we are a military shooter in modern times. Another quote is, it has to be grounded. That is what BF3 and BF4 was. It was all soldiers on the ground. It's going to be like this. I don't think it needs Nicki Minaj. Let's keep it real. Keep it grounded. Love it. Love it. I love that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed if you enjoy having Nicki Minaj get you with a 360 no scope headshot and teabag on your body. That should be that should insult you. Just the fact that that exists. That should not exist in Call of Duty. A military shooter? Nicki Minaj? Not okay. Like, look at yourself in the mirror and look at what you're playing as a man. That should not fly with you. That should not be okay as a man. So hopefully Battlefield 6 is able to deliver us from evil, like I had said last week. Now that we've gotten more info, more footage, more quotes from developers, and more outlook on what they're going to do for this game, I just hope that we are delivered from this evil that has plagued us for the last, 3 years of cringe skins and candy ass weapons and corny seasons and, you know, just the pussification of military shooter games. Like, I don't want to shoot a gun that shoots out pink sparklers. I don't want to shoot a gun that is a skeleton dog. I don't want to have Beavis and Butthead slide canceling all over the map. Like, it's time to stop. It's over. You know, you've no longer become play our game. You've become shop our shop. You're not you don't play. You're not even existing for gamers to play your game. You're there so they can buy cosmetics on operators, guns, and now smoke grenades. It is time to stop. Moving on to something that's not related to video games, that is not related. Well, it is related to entertainment, but I saw this today and I thought, wow, this is actually kind of insane. But if it works, it could be legendary. Now, a lot of anticipation for this because a lot of people out there are Roman Catholic. A lot of people out there believe in Jesus Christ. My boy JC. But I just saw today, where was it? It was a post on X that from Variety that Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ sequel will be split into two movies for the sequel to The Passion of the Christ. So this would make it a trilogy. Each film is set to be released in 2027. Part 1 is slated for Good Friday, March 26th. Part 2 is set 40 days later, on May 6th. Now, of course, if you don't know the significance of the 40 days, it is because it is it's a well-known event in the Bible where, you know, the boy JC, Jesus Christ, was the boy that had went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights in the Bible. That is a canon event for that guy, for our boy who died for our sins. And it was the fasting, and what he didn't eat. He was just in the desert. And it was described in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, led by the Spirit into the desert and be tempted by the devil, fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and afterwards he was hungry. And all the temptations of Satan and the devil, he prevailed. He resisted all temptations by quoting Scripture. And that's why we do Lent, to mimic and honor Christ. And the fact that this man, this boy, Melly Gibson's, if you guys have ever watched Key and Peele, is bold enough to have part 2 come out and then part 3 40 days later. If his movies are actually tremendous, I think it will be. I think they will be. Then he is straight up gonna have like the most insane back-to-back releases of movies of all time. Not only is it like one of the biggest like religious, events in the Bible ever, right? The first one I think is titled The Resurrection of the Christ. Third one, I'm not too sure. I don't think it's been titled yet. But man, like, this is a bold move for the boy Mel Gibson, to be this confident. He knows what he's doing. I'll give you that. The 40 days, is significant in the Christian faith. So this is big time, like, ballsy move by the boy Mel Gibson. Now, I've seen The Passion of the Christ. It's a crazy movie. It's a sad movie. It's a very mature movie, very gruesome movie. I can only imagine that the sequels will be as mature, as intense, as spiritual, as emotional as the first one. But I'm going to go into it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see these movies in the theater. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that, as a Roman Catholic, I, need to watch these in IMAX. So I'm looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to the strategy that this man is going forward with. The 40-day, window between films. I think that this is going to pay off for real, though. Like, the first one made a ton of money. Just an absurd amount of money. So with the buildup and the hype and the want for these movies, and for him to come back and do these movies, and him wanting to actually do them, and him, being faithful and actually caring about, his faith and what he puts to screen, and how he wants to tell these these events from the Bible. Like, this is monumental storytelling. I mean, like, when you tell movies, make movies about an entire religion that has billions of followers. I mean, like, this is like, you're talking about a film that has literally eyes of like a quarter of the maybe even more of the population of the planet looking at this movie and going to watch this movie. I mean, you are essentially making potentially the biggest grossing movies ever made. I'm talking about, like, this ain't no blue people like Avatar. Like, this is Christ Almighty. This is the movie about the boy JC. So, like, potentially biggest movies ever produced. I mean, I can only imagine, like, with nowadays, how people are, what people want to watch. It ain't really superhero movies anymore. So, I mean, this could be, the most anticipated movies to launch within the shortest amount of time from sequel to sequel ever. So like if part 2 is great, the thirst, and there'll be people seeing part 2 up until part 3 comes out within the 40 days. Like it'll be just crazy for that to happen. Just absolutely insane. Um, so that is, something that's coming out, and I didn't know that was gonna happen until today, and I was like, whoa. Mel Gibson is betting on this to work. And I think it will. There's a lot of Catholics out there, a lot of Christians out there that I think are going to make this worth the gamble on putting these out within 40 days of each other. Normally that would not work in with certain studios, but I think Mel Gibson is just going to get his way for this, and I think it's going to pay off hugely. Moving on though to some more. What do I got? Entertainment news. Tom Holland in the new Spider-Man suit. I will say this. I'm not the hugest fan of Tom Holland as an actor, mainly because I've only seen him as Spider-Man. He's done other movies that I have not seen, so I don't really know how he is as an actor. He's very good at Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not my favorite hero. So, I don't have the love for Spider-Man that a lot of people out there do. I just don't. And if my love for Spider-Man is solely because of Tobey Maguire. He's my boy. He was my first. So I just don't have the same attachment, the same love for the character of Spider-Man as other people do. Didn't read his comics as a kid, only saw the movies. So my Spider-Man like love is not as strong as others. I will say they did release some footage and some images of Tom Holland in the new Spider-Man suit. He looks really good as Spider-Man. The suit looks really good. It looks like a blend of Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's suit, and it looks really cool. And I wish I could say like I like Spider-Man more, that way I can be hyped up more for it. Just not. It looks cool though. I will say like it looks really cool. And there was news that the Hulk is going to be in it too, which means we'll get more of Mark Ruffalo. Not excited about that. Just because I think Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is really, really, really needs to just kind of go away. I'm kind of sick of him being Hulk. I don't really care for the fact that it's not insane, rageful Hulk, because I don't think that you can do a good story, a good movie with Raging Hulk being the main dude. Just don't think it's possible. And the fact that we have in the current Marvel universe, we have Professor Hulk, who is just Mark Ruffalo saying lines, is not okay for me. John Bernthal as Punisher though, that could be cool. All I see John Bernthal is Shane from The Walking Dead, but hey, if he could play a menacing villain for Spider-Man to go up against, then yeah, I'm on for that. Just not in for Mark Ruffalo's Hulk to return, because it looks like that Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is kind of going to be like a guidance for, or a mentor for, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, kind of like how Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man was in the first movie. I think that was Homecoming. The first movie was with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, like his own movie. So it looks like they're kind of going to go back and go for that formula again. Back to formula, I guess. But I just don't think that Mark Ruffalo is going to put people in seats. Like, yeah, it's going to be Professor Hulk. He's going to be, just weird and smart and just playing Mark Ruffalo. But, I mean, if people want to see that, that's cool. I get it. People are excited for the way his suit looks. That's cool too. But, yeah, his suit is cool. I will say that. But will the movie be cool? Who knows? I mean, this is the 4th installment in the Spider-Man franchise under the MCU, so we can only hope that it's actually a good movie. Cool suit does not mean good movie, right? I mean, we had a cool suit in the Halo TV series. Very, very, very bad series. And suit was not present for that much in that series. We had a which one had a cool suit that for a character in a movie that sucked bad. I don't know. I think I'm just kind of blanking, but Halo series, man, cool suit, but terrible series. Lastly, Esquire ranked their quote unquote best superhero films, their top 25 superhero films. And I'm going to read you them from worstest, which is 25, to bestest, which is 1, and give you my thoughts on that. Their number 25th best comic superhero movie of all time is Thunderbolts. Their top 24th best superhero movie is Shazam. Their top 23rd best superhero film is Super. Their top 22nd best superhero film is Thor Ragnarok. Their top 21 best superhero film is Watchmen. Their top 20th superhero film is Superman 2. Their top 19th top superhero film is Avengers Endgame. Their 18th is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Their 17th is Shin Kamen Rider 23. Their 16th, I think that's the year 2023, by the way. Their 16th best comic book movie out of 25 is Hellboy from 2004. Their 15th best is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Their 14th is The Crow from 1995. Their 13th is Logan. Their 12th is The Batman. Wow. That one? Okay. Their 11th is Into the Spider-Verse. Their 10th is Batman from 1989. Their 9th is X2, which is, I think, called X-Men Unlimited. Their 8th is Unbreakable. Their 7th is Wonder Woman. Their 6th is Black Panther. Their 5th is The Incredibles. Their 4th is The Avengers. Their 3rd is The Dark Knight. Their runner-up for best comic superhero movie of all time at number 2 is Spider-Man 2. And their number 1 superhero movie of all time at number 1 for Esquire is Superman 1978. Jesus Christ. I mean, like, there's no Infinity War, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight was not number one. I love Superman 1978, but The Dark Knight is the best superhero movie ever made. Hands down. Wonder Woman was 7? No Days of Future Past? The Batman was over Logan? Endgame is probably deservedly at 19. That's not my favorite either. No Iron Man 1? You shitting me? What the hell are we doing here? And this is what Grok has to say. Somebody asked Grok, what is your top 25 superhero films? Let me see if I agree with Grok on this. I probably won't either, but let me see. 25, Grok put Superman from 2025, 24, Superman 2, 23, The Crow, 22, Shazam, 21, Hellboy from 2004, 20, Unbreakable, 19, Batman from 1989, 18, Deadpool, 17, Watchmen, 16, Thor Ragnarok, 15, Avengers Infinity War, thank you, 14, Iron Man, thank you, 13, Wonder Woman, sure, 12, X2, X-Men United, okay, it was X-Men United, 11, The Batman, still too high for me, 10, Guardians of the Galaxy, all right, 9, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, 8, Black Panther, 7, Avengers Endgame, too high for me, 6, Spider-Man 2, I'm fine with that, 5, Superman 1978, I'm fine with that, 4, The Incredibles, no way, absolutely not, that's way too high, 3, Logan, cool, I think that's, yeah, probably put that there, probably. 2, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I can see why people put that there. Me personally, I would not. Number 1, The Dark Knight. Thank you, though. I mean, Grok has at least, the number 1 spot locked down. That one is not changing for me whatsoever. But Esquire, you didn't have Iron Man? You didn't have the first Spider-Man? You got to rewatch the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That one is legit good. Like, really good. You didn't have Infinity War? You had Endgame before Infinity War? Not okay. Even Grok had Endgame before Infinity War. Like, better. And I'm like, no chance. Yeah, The Incredibles that high? Fuck no. Hell no, dude. No freaking way. Absolutely not. Esquire had goddamn Thunderbolts before Iron Man. Eat shit, bro. And they don't had Wonder Woman that high up? Are you kidding? That's like at least like the 20th. It's a good movie, but ain't freaking 7 or whatever the hell they put it that high. Come on. Yeah. Esquire and even Grok are kind of wrong on that, but Grok, at least was a real one and put The Dark Knight number 1. That is the number 1 best superhero movie of all time. Still is and probably will be forever. But I can also see people, Esquire taking Superman 1978 too. That's an all timer as well. That's gonna be do it for me today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.